Okay. I don't know who needs to hear this, but I felt moved to get on here and share this. Um, Sorry, that's my mom. She's getting ready for work. But anyway, I want y'all to embrace your weakness. Embrace your weakness. Paul talks about, I believe it's in Romans, where he talks about, for where I am weak, I am strong. Because that just means that God's hand is on him even more. That just means God's hand is on us even more. And I want to encourage you that, because right now I'm in a season where I just feel completely weak, right? But I'm still standing strong. I have confidence in the Lord. I was thinking about, I was talking to the Lord, and then he had me, I was listening to this sermon, and then he talked about the valley, and he talked about how there's fruit and miracles that grow on in the valley. There's sweet fruit that's being done in the valley. There's a lot being done in the valley than on the mountaintop. God can do a lot in the valley. And so my friend had sent it to me, and I just absolutely loved it. But then I was talking out loud to the Lord, and then I started to go off. I say these tangents, but I feel like it's a reason why I go off. It's like almost me speaking to myself, the Spirit speaking to me. And he took me to the story of Gideon. The story of Gideon, if y'all don't know it, it's in the book of Judges, and I kept getting it confused. I was like, I remember this army, it was this battle, and it was this many men. So he was going up against, Gideon was an unlikely hero. So yet again, a person that's kind of unqualified. That doesn't, like, if you looked at his resume, it doesn't match the assignment. But that's how God is. Like, that's how God works. He's so good. He is so good. And I think about me, like, in my assignments, and all of you and your assignments. Sometimes your resume doesn't match exactly what God is having you do, but trust in him, because this is so, the story of Gideon is very, very powerful. He's going up against like 135,000. I think it's like 132,000. It's a big number of soldier men, very large men, right? He's going up against. And mind you, he's this unlikely person. So first he starts off with like 32,000. He brings them to God. He says, okay, God, like, I got 32,000 men. But God goes, that's too much men. That's too many men. So this is what God does. God always sets things up to where he can get the glory. Because here's where he gets it. He doesn't want us to get boastful. He doesn't want us to get like, oh, we did this. I know, like, check me out, peep me out. I won this battle. He doesn't want that. It's all, he always sets it up to where he gets the glory. So he looks at Gideon and he says, 32,000 men? That's way too much. So then he tests them. He tests the men. He knocks out more than half. So there's only 300 men now. There's only 300 men. So now Gideon's like, so I went from having 32,000. Like, I went to having, now to an unbeliever, right? But if you know God's characteristics, you know that it's not impossible, right? We know that, oh, this is exactly what God needs. If we know his words, he would be like, this is exactly what I need. But to a non-believer, like a person on the outside, they would be like, this is going to be impossible. I'm just going to let you know, you're going to fail for sure. But we know that God works, how powerful God is. We know we serve a living, true, powerful God. And so he goes up against them. And he has them, and the thing about it is, about this battle, God doesn't, it's not a traditional battle. Like, it's not like a fight. No, he has them, I believe it was a jar, a trumpet, and a torch that they use. And they literally, they say something, they sound it off, and literally they won the battle. 300 men up against like 135,000. They win the battle. But all glory to God. All glory to God. So what am I getting at? God's weakness, embrace it. Embrace it. That's where you're strong, right? They what seemed impossible, right? They're like, man, we're weak now compared to the other team. Like, we've lost men. There's only 300 of us now going up against 135,000 soldier men. And we only have a trumpet, a torch, and a jar. Like, we don't even have guns or anything like that. So, like, what looks impossible, right? What looks like weakness, God is strong, right? And faith and obedience. Like, even though I'm sure Gideon was in his head, like, bro, like, you want me to not, like, wow. But he still was obedient and he listened to God. He was on his mark. So it's important to still be on your mark. Even if your mark doesn't make sense, if God is saying, no, I don't want you there. I need you here. I need you there. Get ready. Be on your mark. Be obedient and get on your mark. So I just want to encourage someone, if you're in a season where you just feel weak like me, I just feel like I'm just, man, there's so much little bubbles all around me that like everything is kind of unclear right now. So if you're like me, embrace it. Embrace it. James even talks about it, embracing it, embracing, endure it, sit in it. Sometimes you just got to sit in it. I heard a wise pastor say that God doesn't take you out of everything. Sometimes he allows you to sit in it. You got to go through it. But I promise you, if you know God, you know that he does all things for good, that he is working. He is always working. So I encourage you to stand strong, to be like Gideon, stand strong, be on your mark, be obedient, be faithful to God. You be faithful to him, he will be faithful to you. I promise you. I love you guys, and stay strong, okay?